Hey guys, Jason here from SMYD Book Club. Now today I want to talk about a game-changing book for leadership. This is a book I read a few months ago, and since then I have not looked back. In terms of like how I run my business, how I deal with my team, how I deal with clients and suppliers or anyone in my business life, this book has completely transformed the way in which I deal with them. Now the book's called Extreme Ownership by Joco Wilner. The guy's a former Navy SEAL, and in the book he talks about some of his fundamental leadership principles. He talks about how they were used within the context of the war in Iraq when he was in the Navy SEALs. He then puts that back into a business case and how he's used it in the world of business, and then he finishes up with a conclusion. So he's showing you this concept in a war environment, and then he's showing you that concept in a business environment. Not saying that business is war, but it's the same fundamental concept that stood incredibly strong on the battlefield and how it also works within the business. So let's jump in and have a look at a couple of them. So leadership lessons from extreme ownership. Number one is extreme ownership. It's just own everything. If there's something within your realm that's happening, you own it. You hold yourself responsible for finding a solution. No blame, no excuses, no denying, you own it. Number two is no bad teams, only bad leaders. In the book, he talks about some incredible examples of when they're doing their BUDS courses. And I won't sort of delve too much into what goes on in the book, but basically the name says it all. He talks about how the way in which a leader conducts themselves is actually how the team conducts themselves. Incredibly applicable for if we're leading a team of people at our business. Number three is believe. You actually have to believe in what you're doing. There's no point just saying you're going to do something if you don't believe you can achieve it. People will see through you straight away. So you actually have to believe from the bottom of your heart that what you're doing is going to make a difference or achieve a result. Love this one. Check the ego. Says it all really. Like, you're there to learn, you're there to develop as a leader. You have never stopped learning or developing. The minute you think you're where you need to be is the minute you will start realizing that your ego's taking over. So get rid of the ego, you be a sponge, you try to learn as much as you can, and don't be afraid to say that you don't know something. Cover and move. This one was a really interesting concept. It was all about how you can set up your strategy and how you can move forward. So really interesting to make sure that if you are going to move, you're moving in a direction that you've planned for, or you've planned for all possibilities. Number six is one of my all-time favorites, and it's just keep it simple. Just because a business plan might be 50 pages long doesn't make that business plan relevant. A business plan should be simple and easy. Anything that we're doing in business should be simple and easy to understand. Just because it's simple doesn't make the execution easy. Prioritize and execute, similar to Stephen Covey, first things first. It's just like prioritize what you need to do, execute it perfectly, then move on. Don't try and spread yourself too thin. Decentralized command is all about how you can have a team of decision makers beneath you. If you run a business and you're the only person that can make decisions within that business, you're a bottleneck and you are going to be the one that stymies its growth. Plan's all about making sure that you invest the amount of time into quadrant 2 activities. Plan what you're going to do. Set your business plan. Make sure it's actually realistic. Spend the time understanding how you're going to execute it, then go out and execute it. Leading up and down the chain of command, this is a really interesting one. This is where if we have those above us, it's actually how we lead up. How can we tell people not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear? Decisiveness and uncertainty. No one needs someone that's uncertain. No one needs someone that's indecisive. It's like back yourself, back your knowledge, back your experience, and back your extreme ownership of a situation that if you make the wrong decisions, you're going to do what you can to make it work and fix it. Discipline equals freedom. Set yourself the habits, follow those habits. Freedom will come at the end of it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very, very, very brief summary of extreme ownership. Please go out and read the book. It is amazing. It will change the way in which you look at not only your business world, but also your personal life as well. So that's SMYD Book Club for you. Please let me know if you get the book, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on once you've read it.